Blue light spills across the floor from her tank against the wall. Tiny shadows drift like clouds without a sound at all. The Aquarium café is closing, chairs are upside down. Only jellyfish are dancing in their glowing crowns. Outside, the winter avenue reflects the neon rain, while buses carry strangers home through streets without a name. I sit beside the glass alone, watching silver fins move like thoughts that never stop, circling within. Some feelings never leave, they just learn how to swim beneath the surface of the heart. Quiet and dim. Velvet aquarium floating in the dark. Every drifting creature carries a tiny spark, and every wave of blue light washes over me, like all the words we buried at the bottom of the sea. Velvet aquarium, silent and deep. Velvet aquarium, where old memories sleep. Back in my apartment, a shoebox waits beneath the bed, filled with little souvenirs from places we once went. Movie tickets, subway maps, a keychain from July, and a tiny matchbox painted with a crescent moonlit sky. I turn it in my fingertips, the cardboard worn and thin. Funny how a simple thing can pull the past back in. Maybe every keepsake is a doorway made of dust, opening when we're lonely, whether fair or unjust. Matchbox moons inside a drawer, hidden from the day. Tiny borrowed galaxies that never drift away. And every faded color still glows beneath the years, like fragile little lanterns for forgotten hopes and fears. Matchbox moons, shining soft and low. Matchbox moons, refusing not to glow. If I could hold one evening like water in my hands, I'd choose a quiet city walk nobody had planned. No promises forever, no fear of what would change. Just two shadows crossing sidewalks before they drifted strange. Velvet aquarium at sunrise, the blue begins to fade. Morning slips across the glass where restless dreams once stayed. Matchbox moons in daylight, still resting where they are. Some people leave your lifetime, but leave behind a star. The fish keep slowly moving, the city wakes anew, and somewhere in the pale gold dawn, the water looks like you. Neon signs from distant stores color every rose. The flowers never asked for light, yet they learned how to grow under buzzing advertisements and windows all aglow. A cat sleeps on a broken bench beside a fountain dry. The city keeps on breathing without asking why. I walk through narrow pathways made of cracked stone and rain, carrying old conversations I still cannot explain. Some nights feel too crowded for a heart this tired and worn, yet somehow loneliness survives even in a storm. Neon garden after midnight, blooming in the gray. Every flower finds a reason not to fade away, and every drop of color paints the darkness new, while I stand among the shadows, still missing you. Neon garden, growing through the pain. Neon garden, dancing in the rain. Back inside my room, a cardboard box remains, filled with movie stubs and letters and little paper planes. I find a childhood project hidden underneath, stars cut out from cardboard with uneven edges beneath. I taped them to my ceiling when I was 17, believing every distant dream was closer than it seemed. Maybe growing older means learning how to see the beauty in the broken things that shaped who we would be. Cardboard stars above my bed, still hanging after years, watching every victory and every hidden tear, and every crooked corner holds a piece of who I was, like proof that imperfect things can still become enough. Cardboard stars floating in a blue. Cardboard stars still pointing me to you. If I could visit one old bedroom from another life, I'd sit beneath those handmade stars and stay there for the night. Before the world grew larger, before the roads got long, before I learned that even love can become a song. Neon garden at sunrise, the colors start to fade. Morning washes over every shadow that remains. Cardboard stars in daylight, still hanging overhead. Some people leave your lifetime, but never leave your head. But garden waits behind me, the city wakes anew, and somewhere between neon lights I still find pieces of you. The elevator hums softly through a building made of years, carrying forgotten stories and invisible tears. Floor numbers glow in amber like tiny moons at night. Each stop opens briefly to a different life. A A child leaves muddy footprints outside apartment 3. Someone practices piano with hesitant melody. An old man waters plants along a narrow hall, watching leaves climb patiently across the peeling wall. Everybody's carrying a world behind a door, 1,000 silent battles nobody talks about anymore. Ember elevator, rising through the dark, collecting little fragments of every broken heart. Between your world and mine. At the edge of town there's a field where old kites come to rest, caught forever in bare branches above abandoned grass. Red ones, blue ones, yellow ones, torn by wind and rain, still hanging from the trees like echoes that remain. The sky turns copper overhead as evening settles low, and all those tangled ribbons dance where they cannot go. Never truly disappear, they simply change their shape and linger somewhere near. The kite cemetery, beneath the faded sky, full of little journeys that forgot how to fly. And every tangled string still points somewhere above, like hopes that lost direction but never lost their love. The kite cemetery, quiet as a prayer. The kite cemetery, still holding pieces there. If I could save one dream before it drifted away, I'd place it in a glass jar and keep it through the gray. Not because I need it now or wish the past was new, but because every falling star deserves remembering too. Amber elevator, it's sunrise, the lights begin to fade. Morning fills the hallway where the shadows stayed. The kite cemetery in daylight, glowing soft and gold. Some people leave your lifetime, but their colors never grow old. The elevator reaches ground floor, the doors slide open wide, and somewhere in the waking world, your memory steps inside. Headlights drift across the dashboard like ghosts made out of gold. The highway stretches endlessly through the quiet cold. Gas stations glow like islands in an ocean made shade of dark. Coffee machines are humming, keeping lonely little sparks. A trucker folds a roadmap at a table by the door. His tired eyes have probably seen 1,000 towns or more. The radio keeps fading between songs and empty air, like half-finished conversations still floating somewhere. Some roads don't lead to places, they lead through who we are, turning every broken feeling into another scar. Porcelain highway shining through the night, fragile as a memory disappearing with the light. And every passing mile feels heavier somehow, like carrying yesterday into the now. Porcelain highway running through the blue. Porcelain highway still leading back to you. Near an old forgotten village, an orchard waits alone. Branches bending quietly above the overgrown. Tiny rusted keys are hanging from ribbons in the trees, left by strangers carrying wishes upon the evening breeze. Silver keys and copper keys swing beneath the moon, like dreams that never happened and ended far too soon. Maybe every wish survives in places we can't see, living in the spaces between what was and what could be. The orchard of lost keys, hidden past the hills, holding silent promises the night remembers still. And every little keychain sings softly in the wind, like doors we never opened or walked through again. The orchard of lost keys, glowing pale and white. The orchard of lost keys beneath the moonlight. If I could unlock one memory, I'd choose a simple day when nothing felt uncertain and love had found its way. No endings on the horizon, no shadows in the room. Sunlight through the curtains and flowers still in bloom. Porcelain highway at sunrise, the darkness fades to gray. Morning paints the distant fields and carries night away. The orchard of lost keys shimmers in the dawn. Some people leave your lifetime, but their doors stay open on. The engine keeps on moving, the sky becomes brand new, and somewhere down the endless road, a memory waits for you. Rain draws rivers on the glass of a late night train. Street lights melt into colors and disappear again. The carriage sways in silence, half the seats are bare. A woman sleeps beside her coat without a single care. The speaker softly crackles, announcing distant towns. Names I've never heard before passing slowly by now. Outside, factories are glowing against the midnight gray, like giant hearts still working while the world drifts away. Some journeys last forever, even when they're short, because of who we carry inside our thoughts. Ruby train window covered up in rain, every blurred reflection calls your name again, and every passing signal flashes red and blue, like all the roads I travel trying to lose you. Ruby train window shimmering in the night, ruby train window holding borrowed light. Near the final station there's a strange old building there, filled with forgotten umbrellas left by people everywhere. Black ones, yellow, navy blue, standing row by row, guarding tiny storms from years and years ago. Each one has a story, a journey interrupted halfway, a hurried goodbye in weather that never truly went away. Maybe every lost thing finds another home, somewhere beyond the places it once belonged. The museum of umbrellas, quiet as a dream, filled with little rainstorms and everything between, and every folded handle still remembers someone's hand, like pieces of a lifetime trying to understand. The museum of umbrellas, sleeping in the gray. The museum of umbrellas, where old weather stays. If I could revisit one evening, I'd choose a rainy June, walking beneath a shared umbrella while humming a simple tune. No thoughts about tomorrow, no fear of what would change, just puddles catching city lights before they washed away. Ruby train window, at sunrise the clouds began to break, golden fields replaced the darkness as another morning wakes. The museum of umbrellas fades behind the tracks. Some people leave your lifetime, but never truly leave your map. The train keeps moving forward, the rain is finally through, and somewhere in the brightening sky, the horizon looks like you. Lanterns sway above the platform in the cold October breeze. The station clock keeps counting moments nobody can keep. A train departed hours ago, but I still haven't moved. Watching shadows stretch across the tracks beneath the moon. The ticket windows dark tonight. The benches lined with dust, even echoes seem exhausted from remembering too much. The newspaper rolls slowly along the empty ground, like a traveler searching for a place to settle down. Some goodbyes don't happen once, they happen every day in little waves of memory that never drift away. Lantern station in the twilight, glowing soft and gold. Every light a tiny story, too precious to be told. And every passing freight train carries pieces of the years through tunnels made of silence and unfinished tears. Lantern station, waiting in the blue. Lantern station, still holding on to you. The river near the station reflects the city lights, like scattered pieces of a dream floating through the night. A musician under the bridge plays a worn-out violin. The melody sounds broken but beautiful within. I stop and listen quietly as strangers pass me by. The saddest songs seem honest because they never try. Maybe every lonely heart is a sky we cannot see, filled with hidden constellations only memory can reach. Autumn satellites above me, crossing silent space. Tiny sparks of yesterday, no distance can erase. And every fading signal still reaches through the dark, like all the words you left behind, etched inside my heart. Autumn satellites drifting through the night. Autumn satellites disappearing into light. If I could send one message beyond the years we've known, I'd send it without sadness and let the wind take it home. Not asking for another chance or wishing things were new, only saying thank you for every sky we flew through. Lantern station near the sunrise, the horizon starts to glow. Morning finds the empty tracks covered in silver snow. Autumn satellites grow distant as daylight fills the air. Some people leave your lifetime to leave their stars there. The first train of the morning arrives without a sound, and somewhere in the waking world your memory comes around. The arcade lights still shimmer, though the crowds are long gone. Colors spill across the sidewalk till the edge of dawn. A racing game keeps blinking in an empty corner space, like it's waiting for a player who forgot this place. The prize machine is sleeping, full of faded toys, guarding tiny victories and forgotten joys. I walk between the neon aisles, listening to the hum of memories that never knew their ending would come. Some places hold our younger selves like photographs in glass, untouched by all the years that hurried by too fast. Velvet arcade in the midnight, glowing red and blue. Every flashing light awakens another piece of you, and every silent joystick still remembers every dream. Back when forever felt as close as the glow of a screen. Velvet arcade, frozen in the night. Velvet arcade, still burning bright. Outside, the streets are empty, the traffic lights alone, changing colors patiently for nobody at all. A bicycle lies resting against a painted wall, its shadow stretched beneath the moon, quiet and small. I find an old token hidden in my coat, a tiny metal memory the years forgot to throw. Maybe growing older means carrying little things that seem insignificant until the feeling returns. Paper constellations pinned above my bed, stars I used to cut by hand from silver sheets instead. And every folded galaxy still hangs there somehow, like promises I made myself and still remember now. Paper constellations floating overhead, paper constellations lighting paths I never led. If I could revisit one moment, I'd choose a random night when life was full of questions and every answer felt right. No fear of losing people, no weight of yesterday, just the sound of laughter drifting through the arcade. Velvet arcade at sunrise, the colors start to fade. Morning washes over the magic that they made. Paper constellations still shining through the years. Some people leave your lifetime, but not the stars they leave here. The arcade doors are closing, the sky turns pale and blue, and somewhere in the waking day, a memory leads to you. The library stays open late while rain taps on the glass. Rows of sleeping novels wait for strangers who still pass. A lonely lamp beside the window paints the pages gold. Every shelf is full of lives too beautiful to hold. The clock above the reference desk moves carefully and slow, as if it's scared of waking the stories down below. I wander through the quiet hours with nowhere left to be, searching through old chapters like they're searching back for me. Some words survive forever, even after voices fade, living in the silence long after they're made. Crimson library in the rainfall, wrapped in shades of red. Every book contains 1,000 places I have never been, and every turning page tonight feels softer than before, like memories opening gently, an old forgotten door. Crimson library, sheltering the night. Crimson library, keeping dreams alive. A handwritten note slips from a novel onto the wooden floor. No signature, no explanation, just a date from years before. I wonder who once held it and what they left behind. Maybe everyone becomes a story, given enough time. Outside, the storm grows stronger, the city disappears, hidden by a curtain made of water and years. Maybe every heart is a novel missing a few pages, trying to make sense of its unfinished stages. Snowfall radio in December, playing after dark. Every distant melody ignites a little spark, and every crackled chorus feels warmer than it should, like hearing old emotions translated into words. Snowfall radio, singing through the snow. Snowfall radio, playing songs I used to know. If I could keep one evening pressed between the years, I'd save a simple conversation before the doubts and fears. No grand declarations, no dramatic goodbye scene, just the comfort of your laughter and everything between. Crimson library near closing, the lights begin to dim, but every story keeps breathing deep within. Snowfall radio at sunrise, the final song is through. Some people leave your lifetime, but their voice stays with you. The rain begins to soften, morning touches every pain, and somewhere in the quiet light, I hear your name again. Above the sleeping city, the rooftops catch the rain. Silver rivers crossing quietly through the midnight haze. Boundary lines are swaying between apartment walls, like little flags surrendered after endless storms. A single window stays awake on the building across, its pale light floating softly like a ship that got lost. The sky hangs low and heavy, pressed against the town, as if the clouds are carrying every heart that's breaking down. Tonight the world feels frozen, like it forgot to move, and every street below me still whispers about you. Velvet rooftops in the rainfall, covered up in blue. Every puddle holds reflections that turn into you, and every chimney shadow stretches farther than before, like memories that keep returning to knock upon my door. Velvet rooftops under weary skies, velvet rooftops where the silence hides. Back inside the hallway, a neighbor moves away. Cardboard boxes stacked like towers of things they couldn't save. An old elevator trembles as it climbs the night, carrying little fragments of somebody's life. I find a dusty snow globe at the corner thrift store shelf, a tiny frozen village looking lonely by itself. Maybe every lost thing waits for someone to understand the weight of being forgotten in a world that never stands still. Broken snow globes on the counter, shaken by the years. Tiny storms still swirling inside crystal tears, and every falling snowflake spins through yesterday like moments trapped forever that never found their way. Broken snow globes resting in the dark, broken snow globes protecting fragile sparks. If I could visit one winter, I'd choose the quiet kind, when we watch the city snowfall without a finish line. No promises forever, no fear of letting go. Just warm hands by the window, watching white streets glow. Velvet rooftops at the sunrise, the rain begins to clear. Morning paints the skyline, but your shadow lingers here. Broken snow glows in the daylight, still holding tiny storms. Some people leave your lifetime, yet their absence keeps you warm. Starts awakening, the clouds drift out of view, and somewhere on those rooftops, the rain still sounds like you. Steam rises from a porcelain cup in a room without a sound. The city flickers through the curtains like stars that fell to the ground. 3 in the morning again, the kettle hums its song. The clock above the bookshelf pretends the night isn't long. The apartment wears its silence like an oversized coat. Every object seems suspended, every memory afloat. The green tea cools beside me, untouched within my hands, while headlights paint the ceiling waves across the sand. Some nights arrive so quietly, you don't know when they begin, until you're sitting with your ghosts and letting them back in. Midnight green tea, growing colder by the minute, like words I never spoke and all the feelings trapped within it. Every little swirl of steam disappears into the air. The way some people leave your life but somehow stay there. Midnight green tea, bittersweet and slow. Midnight green tea, teaching me to let go. Cardboard box beside the desk holds pieces of the past. Train tickets, folded maps, and summers that didn't last. Among them lies a postcard from a seaside town. The corner's bent and faded, its colors wearing down. Your handwriting still dances across the weathered page, like it never learned that time turns everything with age. Maybe memories of travelers who never settle down, always finding ways to visit when no one's around. Falling postcards scattered through my room, tiny paper time machines returning far too soon. And every faded sun still reaches through the years, like little boats surviving an ocean made of tears. Falling postcards, drifting through the blue. Falling postcards, always leading back to you. If I could keep one season locked safely in a frame, I choose a quiet autumn before everything had changed. Before distance learned our names, before roads pulled us apart, before the world grew larger than the promises in our hearts. Midnight green tea at sunrise, the cup is finally bare. Morning slips between the curtains and settles everywhere. Falling postcards in the daylight, resting where they fell. Some people leave your lifetime, but leave stories as well. The city starts awakening, the sky becomes brand new, and somewhere in the quiet dawn, the steam still looks like you. A lonely motel sign is glowing beside an empty road. Moonflowers bloom in silence where nobody seems to go. The desert air feels weightless under a silver sky. The world is holding its breath tonight as old cars pass me by. Room keys hang behind the counter like memories on a wall. Each one belongs to someone who doesn't come back at all. The woman at reception reads a magazine alone. A midnight television flickers like a distant ghost at home. Some places collect stories like stars collect the night, keeping them forever after they leave sight. Moonflower motel in the darkness, blooming by the road. Every light inside a window carries someone's load, and every quiet hallway knows more than it will say. Its lonely rhythm travels through the stillness it fills. I close my eyes and listen to the night becoming deep. Somewhere a dog is barking while the whole world sleeps. Maybe every journey leaves a little light behind, a trail of glowing moments scattered through time. Summer snow inside my memory, falling soft and white, a strange impossible miracle on a July night. And every frozen sparkle still lingers in my view, like all the rarest moments I ever shared with you. Summer snow melting in the blue. Summer snow still falling over you. If I could relive one evening without changing a thing, I'd choose the night we laughed beneath the carnival lights of spring. No fear about tomorrow, no shadow of goodbye. Just believe in every beautiful thing would always stay alive. Moonflower motel near sunrise, the neon fades away. Morning paints the empty road with colors made of day. Summer snow in recollection, gentle as a tune. Some people leave your lifetime, but never leave too soon. The highway keeps unfolding beyond the golden dawn. And somewhere in the desert wind, your memory moves on. The cafe never closes, though nobody comes this late. A paper moon hangs in the window above a rusted gate. A waitress wipes the counter while an old jukebox hums, playing songs from distant decades for no one but the dark. Coffee steam curls upward like ghosts of yesterday, dancing through the yellow light before they fade away. I sit beside the corner booth where strangers leave their names written on the wooden walls beside forgotten dates. Some nights feel suspended outside the hands of time, like the world forgot to move and left us behind. Paper moon cafe, floating through the blue. Every empty chair tonight feels occupied by you, and every fading record spinning soft and slow carries all the words I never let you know. Paper moon cafe, shelter in the rain. Paper moon cafe, holding quiet pain. Outside the avenue is sleeping beneath a silver mist. Store signs flicker lazily like dreams that still exist. A newspaper tumbles past, silent street. Its pages full of stories no one thought to keep. The city clock strikes 4 a.m. The sound travels for miles, breaking through the loneliness for just a little while. Maybe every midnight place becomes a sacred room where old hearts gather quietly to heal beneath the moon. Broken sundials in the garden, covered up in vines, frozen in forgotten hours and unfinished times. And every shadow crossing them feels softer than before, like time itself surrendered at an old wooden door. Broken sundials resting in the rain. Broken sundials time can't explain. If I could pause one moment, like a photograph in glass, I'd keep an ordinary evening before it became the past. The way your eyes found mine across a crowded room, before we learned that every flower eventually must lose its bloom. Paper moon café at sunrise, the first bird start to sing. Morning paints the windows with the colors of the spring. Broken sundials in the daylight, still standing through the years. Some people leave your lifetime, yet remain beyond the tears. The waitress turns the sign around, the dawn arrives anew, and somewhere in the waking world, the sky still looks like you. The carousel is sleeping beneath a sky of pearl. Its painted horses frozen in a forgotten world. The carnival packed up years ago and left the field behind. Now only weeds and memories are dancing with the wind. The ticket booth is leaning like it's tired of standing still. The faded colors on the signs fight against the chill. I walk the cracked pathway slowly, past rust and scattered leaves, searching for the version of myself that still believes. Some dreams don't disappear, they simply change their form, becoming quiet lanterns to guide us through the storm. Ivory carousel turning in my head. Every painted horse returns to places I once fled, and every silent circle brings another year, spinning through the distance until you reappear. Ivory carousel caught between then and now. Ivory carousel, I still don't know how. A crow lands on the railing where children used shadow stretches longer across the broken grass. The evening sky grows amber, then slowly fades to gray. The same way certain promises seem to slip away. I find an old omission stub half buried in the dirt. Funny how the smallest things can sometimes hurt the worst. Maybe every memory is a spark beneath the rain, waiting for the right night to burn alive again. Dandelion ashes floating through the dark, tiny silver wishes leaving little marks, and every drifting fragment moves wherever winds decide. Like all the parts of us we couldn't keep inside. Dandelion ashes scattered through the blue. Dandelion ashes still coming back to you. If I could visit one old season, I'd choose a windy spring, when everything felt possible and hope was everything. Before the weight of distance, before the fear of loss, before we learned that loving sometimes comes with cost. Ivory carousel at sunrise, the sky begins to glow. Golden light touches every scar the years decided to show. Dandelion ashes in the morning, drifting out of sight. Some people leave your lifetime, but stay within your light. The field grows bright around me, the day begins anew, and somewhere in the waking wind, a piece of me finds you. The old cinema glows lavender at the edge of town tonight. Its faded marquee flickers softly against the violet light. The parking lot is nearly empty, just a handful of cars. The evening hangs like velvet beneath a sky of stars. Inside, the seats are worn with age, their fabric soft and thin, like all the stories hidden there and all the lives they've been in. The projector hums above me, casting silver through the air. Tiny dancing particles floating everywhere. Some moments feel immortal, even when they're small. A single frame of happiness can outlive it all. Lavender cinema, shining through the night. Every scene reminds me of a different light, and every shadow on the screen feels familiar somehow, like pieces of forever still finding me now. Lavender cinema, playing in my soul. Lavender cinema, making broken stories whole. Outside, a movie ends at midnight. People drift away, their laughter fading gently into the sleeping gray. I stay a little longer, walking through the lot, listening to the silence. The crowd somehow forgot a feather lands beside me, carried by the breeze, spinning through the moonlight with effortless ease. Maybe every goodbye leaves something small behind, a trace of warmth, the wonder for another hard to find. Glass feathers in the moonlight, falling from the blue, beautiful and fragile, like the best of what we knew. And every shining fragment reflects another year, turning old emotions into something clear. Glass feathers floating through the dark. Glass feathers leaving little sparks. If I could return one evening, I'd choose a simple night, sharing popcorn and laughter beneath the theater lights. No thoughts about tomorrow, no fear of growing apart, just the quiet comfort of knowing where you are. Up in the cinema at sunrise, the posters catch the gold. The stories may be finished, but their magic still unfolds. Glass feathers on the morning wind, drifting out of sight. Some people leave your lifetime, but leave behind their light. The cinema doors are closing, the day begins anew, and somewhere in the waking sky, a feather looks like you. Between two aging buildings, I can see a line of sea, a narrow strip of silver blue, calling quietly to me. The rooftops wear the evening like a coat of fading gold. Satellite dishes gather stories that nobody has told. A woman waters flowers on the balcony above. Their petals catch the sunset like tiny pieces of love. The air smells faintly of jasmine and distant traffic lights. Another ordinary evening, learning how to become a night. Sometimes the smallest windows show the widest views. Sometimes the quietest moments bring me back to you. Ocean between buildings, shining far away, like a secret hidden safely inside an ordinary day. And every flash of water through the concrete and the steel reminds me that forgotten things can still be real. Ocean between buildings, calling through the years. Ocean between buildings, washing through my fears. Back inside my bedroom, a cardboard box remains, filled with movie tickets and receipts softened by rain. A tiny necklace catches light at the bottom of the pile, a silver star you gave me back when leaving felt worthwhile. I hold it in my fingers and suddenly I know some things stay connected even after letting go. Maybe every keepsake is a lighthouse in disguise, guiding old emotions across forgotten skies. A tin-star necklace resting in my hand, a tiny piece of yesterday I still don't understand. And every scratch upon it I could open one doorway and step into the years, I'd choose a random Tuesday before the distance appeared. No final conversations, no shadows in the room, just sunlight on the kitchen floor and your favorite tune. Ocean between buildings, glowing at the dawn. The city slowly wakes beneath a sky that's moving on. 10-star necklace shining in the light. Some people leave your lifetime, but never leave your sight. The sea remains between the towers, the morning turns them blue, and somewhere in that narrow view, the horizon looks like you. The planetarium closed at 6, but the stars stayed on inside. Tiny galaxies spinning slowly beyond the glass and light. I found myself outside the fence on a quiet Friday night, watching the empty dome glow softly against the countryside. The parking lot was nearly empty, just one forgotten car, like somebody came searching for a memory in the dark. The wind carried distant music from a wedding down the road, a song about forever for hearts that didn't know. Some dreams stay suspended like dust inside a beam, visible only when the light hits them just right between. Dusty planetarium full of borrowed skies. Every artificial star still looks real tonight, and every spinning universe reminds me of the truth. Can bring me back to you. Dusty planetarium turning slow above. Dusty planetarium built from dust and love. I walk along Magnolia Street, where blossoms line the lane. The petals drift like little notes written by the rain. The porch swing moves without a soul upon a painted deck. The evening leaves its fingerprints on everything it touches. A dog barks somewhere far away, then silence settles in, the kind that feels familiar, like an old forgotten friend. Maybe every neighborhood keeps pieces of our past hidden in the evening air, long after moments pass. Magnolia rain on summer sidewalks, falling soft and warm, turning every street light into something reborn. And every drifting petal carries Simply sit beneath those trees and listen to them sing. No need to rewrite endings or rescue what is gone. Some memories become beautiful because they carried on. Dusty planetarium at midnight, the dawn begins to dim. The stars return to heaven as the lights grow thin. Magnolia rain before the sunrise, silver turning gold. Some people leave your lifetime, but their fragrance never goes. Blossoms keep on falling, the sky begins to clear, and somewhere in the waking light, I almost feel you here. The last train leaves the platform with a sigh of metal and steam. Neon reflections tremble softly like fragments of a dream. The station walls are covered and posters fading slow. Faces from forgotten summers no longer seem to know. The janitor sweeps silence across the empty floor. The echoes of 1,000 lives still linger near the doors. I sit beneath a flickering light at the end of track 9, watching tunnels swallow shadows one by one in time. Some places never sleep, they just learn how to wait for lonely hearts arriving a little too late. Velvet subway under midnight, running through my veins. Every tunnel hides a memory, every stop a name, and every passing window shows somebody I once knew. But when I look a little closer, they all become you. Velvet subway moving through the dark. Velvet subway carrying my heart. Outside the city freezes under winter's breath. Storefronts glow like lanterns against the falling mist. A child lets go a balloon near the corner light. It rises through the snowfall and disappears from sight. The crowd keeps walking forward. No one seems to see how something small can break apart a heart unexpectedly. Maybe letting go looks simple from afar, like watching something drift away and become a star. Winter balloons above the rooftops, floating through the gray. Tiny pieces of tomorrow carried far away. And every distant color fades into the snow, like all the things we loved once but couldn't hold. Winter like the way you looked at me before life rearranged. No sorrow in the distance, no goodbye to fear, just two hearts sharing warmth while the cold stayed out here. Velvet subway near the sunrise, the first train starts to run. Morning flies the station with the color of the sun. Winter balloons beyond the skyline, lost inside the blue. Some people leave your lifetime, but their hope stays with you. The train doors slowly open, the city wakes once more. And somewhere in the morning light I find what I'm searching for. The greenhouse shines at midnight like a jewel beneath the rain. Thousands of sleeping flowers pressed against the glass again. The city feels a million miles from this quiet place tonight. Only droplets on the ceiling and pale emerald light. I walk among the orchids, their colors soft and strange, like pieces of forgotten dreams, too beautiful to name. A gardener left a radio playing somewhere low. A distant melody keeps floating through the humid glow. Some memories bloom slowly long after love is gone, opening in silence just before the dawn. Crystal greenhouse in the darkness, full of living stars. Every flower holds a secret hidden in its heart. And every leaf remembers every season passing through, the way my heart remembers every version of you. Crystal greenhouse glowing through the night. Crystal greenhouse bathed in silver light. Outside the rain has ended, the pavement starts to shine. Street lights paint the empty roads in ribbons made of gold and wine. I wander toward the river where reflections drift apart. The water carries fragments like pieces of my heart. A ferry crosses slowly beneath a velvet sky. Its lonely horn keeps echoing like one last goodbye. Maybe every ending leaves embers in the dark, waiting for the smallest wind to wake. choose a night we watch the sky from the old wooden shore. No promises forever, no fear of what would end. Just two hearts chasing colors we thought would never dim. Crystal greenhouse near sunrise, the flowers greet the day. Morning pours through every window and carries night away. September fireworks remembered long after they are gone. Some people leave your lifetime, but their colors linger on. The river keeps on moving, the sky turns soft and clear, and somewhere in the waking light I almost feel you near. The bakery lights are still on at 3 o'clock a.m. Warm goes spilling on the sidewalk through the fog again. A baker needs tomorrow while the town is fast asleep. The scent of bread and cinnamon floats softly through the street. I stand outside the window watching shadows move. People building mornings long before they bloom. A radio plays quietly behind the kitchen wall, an old forgotten love song I almost still recall. Some nights feel like memories before they even end, like they're already drifting into where we've been. Midnight bakery glowing in the pale moonlight, every loaf and every lantern holding warmth tonight, and every rising heartbeat feels simple and true, like all the little comforts that remind me of you. Midnight bakery breathing through the dark, midnight bakery keeping a small spark. I walk toward the soccer field beyond the railroad line, where summer once felt endless and every star could shine. The bleachers stand abandoned, covered up in dew. The scoreboard hasn't changed at all since I sat there with you. The grass bends with the evening wind, like waves beneath the sky, and suddenly the years between feel smaller than goodbye. Maybe time is just a lantern swinging in the breeze, lighting up forgotten roads whenever we need to see. Faded fireflies over the meadow, blinking soft and slow, tiny pieces of the summer we used to know. And every fading sparkle still dances in my mind like little golden promises, and I refuse to hide. Faded fireflies floating through the blue, faded fireflies still leading back to you. If I could borrow one evening from the years that slipped away, I'd choose a random summer night with nothing much to say. watching darkness fall, not knowing simple moments would mean the most of all. Midnight bakery at sunrise, the first customers arrive. The town begins another day and everything comes alive. Faded fireflies remembered long after they're gone. Some people leave your lifetime, yet their glow keeps carrying on. The bakery doors swing open, morning fills the air, and somewhere in the waking light I still find you there. The greenhouse glows electric blue beyond the sleeping park. A lantern floating quietly inside the dark. The gates are closed for visitors, but the lights remain awake, illuminating orchids and tiny silver lakes. Condensation paints the windows with rivers made of glass, blurring every flower as the midnight hours pass. I stand outside and watch them like stars beneath the roof, beautiful and distant, yet somehow feeling true. Some things are meant for holding, only meant for seeing clear, like a dream beside a window that disappears when near. The blue greenhouse, blooming after dark, growing secret gardens inside my heart. And every sleeping blossom whispers through the night that even fragile beauty can survive the light. The blue greenhouse, shining soft and slow. The blue greenhouse, teaching me to let go. On the walk back through the city, the streets are nearly bare. Only traffic lights are talking to the empty air. A corner store stays open with its faded neon sign, selling midnight coffee and little pieces of time. The cashier barely notices the sadness in my eyes. Some loneliness becomes invisible when you've worn it enough times. Maybe every stranger carries storms we never see, walking through the same night, searching quietly. Pocket full of meteors, hidden in my coat. Tiny burning memories, too bright to let go. And every falling fragment leaves a silver scar, like wishes that kept traveling long after they were ours. Pocket full of meteors, glowing in the blue. Pocket full of meteors, still leading back to you. If I could keep one heartbeat from the years that slipped away, I'd choose a random evening with nothing much to say, just sitting by your side, watching headlights pass. become glass. The blue greenhouse at sunrise, the flowers greet the day. Morning melts the shadows and carries them away. Pocket full of meteors, fading with the dawn. Some people leave your lifetime, but their light keeps traveling on. The greenhouse fades behind me, the city turns to gold, and somewhere in the waking sky, your story still unfolds. Far beyond the city skyline, a pale planet hangs alone, watching over sleepless windows and hearts that don't feel home. The rooftop air is colder than it was a year ago. The buildings wear reflections from the traffic down below. I lean against the railing with a paper cup in hand, looking at the distant lights like they might understand. Somewhere a siren fades away into the velvet dark, leaving only scattered echoes and a lonely spark. Sometimes the whole world feels like it's holding its breath, waiting for an answer that never arrives yet. The quiet planet floating over me, a silent silver witness to everything I couldn't be. And every distant crater seems to hold a secret too, like all the hidden places where I still keep you. The quiet planet turning slow and blue, the quiet planet still reminding me of you. Back inside my apartment, the radio glows red, playing songs at low volume beside an unmade bed. The signal breaks in places, static fills the room like ghosts of old conversations returning far too soon. A photograph on the bookshelf tilts slightly to one side. The smile inside the frame still hasn't learned goodbye. Maybe every memory changes with the years, growing soft around the edges, yet never disappearing. Rose-colored static dancing through the air, turning every broken signal into something rare. And every burst of silence feels warmer than before, like hearing your footsteps outside my door. Rose-colored static flickering in the night. Rose-colored static keeping old dreams alive. If I could send a message past the distance and the time, I'd send it without sadness and leave regret behind. Just a simple thank you for the love that helped me grow. Even flowers that don't last forever still teach us how to bloom. The city wakes beneath me, the sky becomes brand new. And somewhere in the morning light, the horizon carries you. The harbor sleeps beneath the fog like a secret under glass. Ships are shadows on the water, waiting for the night to pass. Wooden docks creak softly with the rhythm of the tide. Moonlight paints the fishing boats in silver from the sky. A lighthouse far across the bay blinks slowly through the mist, like someone trying not to forget what they once missed. The ocean smells of old stories, salt and passing years, carrying pieces of yesterday across invisible frontiers. Some places feel abandoned, yet they're full of life unseen, holding every memory that ever slipped between. The sleeping harbor, floating in the blue, every wave returning reminds me of you. And every drifting vessel moves slower than my heart, like it's carrying the pieces that fell apart. The sleeping harbor, breathing with the sea. The sleeping harbor, keeping history. There's an antique shop on Harbor Street that never seems to close. Dusty shelves and crooked frames and things nobody chose. Inside a glass display case, a dozen pocket watches rest, their tiny hands forever frozen inside their metal chests. Some stopped at dawn, some stopped at noon, some stopped in summer rain, each one trapped inside a second it could never leave again. Maybe every heart contains a moment standing still, a place untouched by distance or time's relentless will. Pocket watches in the darkness, silent as the snow. Pocket watches in the darkness, silent as the snow, guarding little pieces of places we can't go. And every golden heartbeat locked behind the glass feels like all the love we knew, refusing not to last. Pocket watches, sleeping through the years. Pocket watches, counting hidden tears. If I could stop one moment, I'd never choose goodbye. I'd choose a random afternoon beneath an ordinary sky. No final words between us, no sadness left to mend. Just the comfort of believing the road would never end. The sleeping harbor. At sunrise, the fog begins to break. Golden light spills on the water as the quiet wakes. Pocket watches in the morning, still shining on the shelf. Some people leave your lifetime, but time keeps part of them itself. The boats begin their journeys, the sea turns bright and new, and somewhere